The chlamydia. We recognize the chlamydia is a bacterial infection that spreads through vaginal, anal, or oral sex, since it often shows no symptoms. Many of us may not realize if infection occurs. If we leave it untreated, it can result in complications such as pelvic inflammatory disease. If untreated, it can result in complications such as pelvic inflammatory disease, infertility, and high risk of contracting other infections. This reminds us why early testing and treatment are very important. Gonorrhea, we also know that gonorrhea is another bacterial infection transmitted through sexual contact. Some of us may experience pain during urination or abnormal discharge, but others may have no signs at all. Without treatment, gonorrhea can cause long-term damage, especially to the reproductive system, and may also affect pregnancies. And this shows us why awareness and treatment are crucial. Now let's proceed to human papillomavirus, or called as HPV. When we talk about HPV, we are dealing with a viral infection spread through skin-to-skin contact, including sexual activity, or sometimes of HPV cause genital warts, while others are linked to cancers like cervical and throat cancer. Thankfully, we have access to vaccines that help protect us from most dangerous strains of HPV, highlighting the role of prevention in safeguarding health. Next is herpes. We may also encounter herpes. This is a viral infection caused by the herpes simple virus, or called as HSV. This infection spreads through direct contact with sores or skin in the infected area. Herpes often causes painful blisters and sores that come back in outbreaks. Since the virus stays in the body, knowing this helps us understand that herpes can't be fully cured but can be managed with treatment. Another is human immunodeficiency virus, or called HIV. It is a viral infection spread through sexual contact, blood-to-blood contact, or from mother to child during pregnancy, childbirth, or breastfeeding. HIV attacks the immune system, making us more vulnerable to other infections. If untreated, HIV can develop into AIDS. With treatment, however, we can manage HIV and live healthier, longer lives. Syphilis naman, we also need to understand syphilis, a bacterial infection that develops in stages. The first stage usually brings sores, which later stages involve rashes and even more serious symptoms. If left untreated, syphilis can damage the brain, heart, and nervous system. So by being aware of this, we remind ourselves of the importance of testing and early treatment. Next is the stigma and misconceptions. You know what? Many of us by understanding this one, that people with STIs face stigma because of fear and misinformation. A common misconception is that normal, everyday contact can spread infection. Yes, it is true. And in reality, STIs are mainly transmitted in three ways. The first one, through unprotected sex with an infected partner. Second, from mother to child during pregnancy or birth. And third, through contaminated needles or infected blood transfusion. When we clear up these misunderstandings, we help reduce stigma and create safer, healthier communities. Now let's proceed our discussion to this one, because in this discussion we explore family planning methods of conception and the reproductive health law. We understand that family planning refers to the deliberate decision to make as parents regarding the number of timing of children. We recognize that this includes choosing whether we use natural, artificial, or surgical methods. Here in the Philippine context, we know that conversations about sex were once considered a taboo. But with the passage of the Responsible Parenthood and Reproductive Health Act of 2012, we now have greater access to reproductive health education and services. For example, we may decide to wait several years before having another child and choose to use birth control pills or condoms to manage conception. We talk about natural family planning, or called as NFP. We focus on fertility awareness-based methods that allow us to track the menstrual cycle and determine fertile and infertile days. In the color-based method, we record menstrual cycle lengths to predict fertile and fertile days. For example, if we have 28 cycle, calendar-based method, we record menstrual cycle lengths to predict fertile and fertile days. For example, if we have a 28-day cycle, we may avoid unprotected intercourse between 10. In the cervical mucus method naman, we check changes in the cervical mucus for the cycle. When we see that the mucus becomes clear and stretchy, we know that fertility is high. We must also remember that the effectiveness of these methods depends on the cycle, regularity, discipline, and strict adherence. You know what? In artificial family planning, we rely on medical interventions that are more effective and reversible. We may choose oral pills that contain hormones to block ovulation, or we may use contraceptive implants. Small rods placed under the skin of the upper arm that release hormones to prevent pregnancy for up to 3 years. We may also decide the use of intrauterine devices or called IUDs, which are T-shaped devices inserted into the uterus. Hormonal IUDs release progestin, while non-hormonal IUDs use copper to create a sperm toxic environment. We also have barrier methods such as condoms and diaphragms, which not only prevents sperm from reaching the egg but also protects us from sexually transmitted infections. You know what? When we choose surgical methods, we decide on permanent solutions to prevent pregnancy. A woman may undergo tubal ligation, a procedure that ties or cuts the fallopian tubes, while a man may choose a vasectomy, a simple surgery that cuts or seals the vas deferens to stop sperm from being released during ejaculation. And these methods are irreversible and are meant for us if we no longer wish to conceive. The significance of family planning in today's world cannot be overstated. Through these methods, we empower ourselves to make informed decisions about when and how many children to have. We protect maternal and child health, reduce unintended pregnancies, and promote economic stability within our families. With a reproductive health law, we also gain access to reliable education and affordable health services that allow us to make choices without fear or stigma. As we reflect on today's challenges such as overpopulation, poverty, and health risks, we realize that family planning remains a powerful tool. It is not only prevents unintended pregnancies but also reduces the spread of sexually transmitted infections. And most importantly, it gives us freedom, dignity, and control over reproductive lives. By practicing responsible parenthood, we take an active role in improving our personal well-being and contributing to sustainable community development. And that's all. Thank you.